Country Cookin'. I'm your hostess, Cindy Schumacher. On today's show, we're going to be making avocado and shrimp fettuccine, orange cranberry tossed salad, French wheat bread, a bourbon pound cake with raspberry sauce. So we're going to start with the cake because it takes about an hour and 20 minutes. So I have 2 cups of butter that I'm going to fluff up here. And I'm going to add 2 cups of granulated sugar. We're going to start adding egg yolks, 8 of them, one at a time. I know you're thinking that with all the butter and with all the eggs, you're thinking this is going to be such a heavy pound cake. But it really is light and fluffy, it's moist, it's delicious. It makes a beautiful gift or something to serve when you have family or friends in, and it also keeps very well. So don't let the fact that that it has a lot of ingredients like eggs and butter deter you from trying it, because it's a wonderful cake. I don't do a very good job of cracking eggs, so I had them all done and ready ahead of time so we don't have to wait. Stop and take my spatula and just kind of scrape the sides down. If you have a freestanding mixer, this would be a good opportunity to use something like that, because it does take some time and it is kind of thick. Oops! Kind of flipped on the side there. Okay, now we're going to alternately add the flour, the bourbon, and our vanilla extract and almond extract. So I'm going to start with, it takes 2½ teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And when you're using this kind of ingredients, if at all possible, I would use the pure extract rather than an imitation. It's just, when you've got quality ingredients like that, you're just going to be happier with the results. I'm going to add a little bit of the flour. It's a total of 3 cups altogether. 3 cups of flour. Add a little bit of the bourbon. Okay, I'm going to stop and I'm going to add the almond extract. Here again, I'm using pure almond extract, 2½ teaspoons. Now, if you want a copy of any of these recipes, if you don't have internet, give the girls at Valley a call. They'll be happy to get you a copy. If you do have internet, you just go to the Valley homepage, www.valleytel.net, and you'll find the Country Cookin' Cow on the right-hand side. You click on that, you'll find all the recipes. Okay, I'm going to add the rest of the bourbon and the rest of the flour. Okay, now I'm going to clean my beaters, and then we're going to take the 8 egg whites and whip them up, and then we're going to add a cup of sugar to that and fold it in. So we'll take a quick break, be right back while I get ready for that.
Blazing fast broadband internet from Valley is now available and better than ever. Let us help you decide which speed is best for you. The 50 meg speed would be sufficient for 1 to 4 devices, mainly emailing and surfing the web. Our 100 meg speed works great for 5 to 8 devices and multiple users streaming and downloading video. If you have 8 devices or more that are simultaneously streaming or gaming, or if you have a medium-sized business, the 250 meg speed would work best for you. For extreme heavy home or work from home use, or if you have a medium to large business using 15 or more devices, you may want to consider our 500 meg download speed to fit your needs. And if you're a home or business that needs it all, we have our 1000 meg 1 gig broadband internet speed. Call our office today at 437-2615 and talk with one of our staff members to pick the speed that's best for you.
Okay, we're going to start beating the 8 egg whites. And you want to beat them until stiff peaks form. I've buttered and floured a bundt pan, and I have 3/4 cup of finely chopped pecans. Sprinkle about half of those in the bottom of the pan. Pour in a cup of granulated sugar. I transferred my cake batter into my old Tupperware bowl. I was trying to not have you see my big old ugly bowl, but it's just too much to work with, and I didn't have the working room, so we transferred it to a different bowl. I've preheated my oven to 350, and the cake is going to bake for about 1 hour and 20 minutes, and then test it with a wooden pick, see if it comes out clean. Then you want it to cool in the pan about 5 or 10 minutes, and then invert it onto your plate. Once it starts to ribbon, then you know it's ready to fold in. Just about there. Okay. just want to incorporate the egg whites with the rest of the batter. Now you can see why I needed a bigger bowl. It just takes some room to move. And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to throw the rest of the pecan pieces in, stir it into the batter. Once you don't see any more of the egg whites, you can put it in your pan. This will fill your whole pan up, but because we whipped it up, it's got so much volume anyway. So don't worry, it's not going to bake over. Okay, I'm going to get it in the oven. We're going to bake it, like I said before, hour and 20 minutes or so. Get it going. We're going to take a quick break while I clean up. We'll be right back.
Get 3 months free access on all lines plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
Okay, we're going to get the French wheat going. Once again, I'm going to be using a bread machine. If you don't have a bread machine and you want to know how to make it from scratch, I have given you the instructions in the recipes. So if you want to do it that way, you sure can. We're going to start with, you always start with the water. It's 1.1 cups of lukewarm water, 2.5 cups of white bread flour, and 1/2 cup of wheat flour. It actually calls for wheat bread flour, which I have not been able to find, but I use regular and it works just fine. So we're going to throw 1/2 cup of that in. 1.5 tablespoons of softened butter. One and a half teaspoons of salt. 2 1/4 teaspoons of granulated sugar, and 3 teaspoons of active dry yeast. If you're using fast dries, you cut it down to 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to go take this and put it on the bread machine. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Faster than fast internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
Okay, the bread is ready out of the bread machine, so I'm going to form it into a French loaf. You can leave it in the bread machine if you like, or put it in a 9x5 bread pan, whatever you prefer. With something like a pasta, I always kind of like a French baguette style, and that's because we're having a pasta. I thought it'd be fun to do more of just, rather than just a regular French bread, to do one with wheat in it. I'm getting all the air bubbles out. Form it. You can make it thinner if you like, longer and thinner. I kind of like a little bit of a fatter loaf. I've sprayed my French bread pan, and we're going to roll it in there so that it kind of gets a little bit of a grease over the top, but I am going to baste it a little bit with butter. And then I cut slits in it. Find the sharpest knife that you have. I take about 4 diagonal slits, like that. Then cover it with saran wrap, a dry cloth dish towel. Set it aside and let it raise to about double in size. I'm going to set that aside. We've got a lot going on. We're going to make the raspberry sauce for the cake. I've got 2 cups of raspberries here, and I'm going to put them in the blender. Did I say 2? It's 4 cups. To it. Then what you want to do is run it through a strainer so you get the seeds out. Some people don't mind the seeds in a raspberry sauce. I always think that it looks a little nicer if there aren't seeds. And sometimes seeds are hard for people to digest. So I'm going to set this aside and let it start going through. So, and I'll work on that when we get a little bit of time. And we're going to start with the salad. I've washed and spun my salad greens. You can use whatever you like for this. Actually, you can use romaine if you like. I'm using a mixed greens. I wanted to use a Christmas bowl since we're at that type of a season. My bowl isn't quite that big, but anyway, I'm going to sprinkle some green onions. I've got 3 green onions that are chopped here. And a cup of dried cranberries. Okay, we'll start working on the dressing, but I'm going to take a quick break and get myself organized. We'll be right back.
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. Ask us about the brand new Choice TV package. Call Valley today at 437-2615.
Okay, we're going to finish up the raspberry sauce. Got it all strained. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar and a teaspoon of liqueur. A tablespoon of liqueur. If you have framboise, which is a raspberry liqueur, that would be great. If you don't, if you have an orange liqueur, that is what I'm using. A tablespoon. And a teaspoon of lemon juice. And I'm using fresh squeezed lemon juice. If you don't have that, you can use real lemon or whatever. Whisk it together and put it in the refrigerator and let it chill down. Okay. Next we're going to get the salad dressing done. So I'm using the blender because I'm going to be incorporating 3/4 cup of canola oil, and that's always better when you do it this way. So I have 3 tablespoons of orange juice. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of poppy seed. A teaspoon of dry mustard. They always say salt and pepper to taste, and that's always difficult, so always err on the side of caution and do less. Less is better because you can always add. So I'm going to do about half teaspoon of each. You need 2 tablespoons of honey. I'm going to give it kind of a couple of squeezes, because I kind of know what it looks like. There we go. 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar. And then I'm going to blend that up, and then we'll add the canola oil slowly. And now I'm going to remove the little lid there, and we'll just start it on just stir so it doesn't splatter so much. And start adding your oil very slowly. Okay, I always give it kind of a little extra boost when it's all in there, just to kind of make sure that it's all mixed up. So we'll get this in a container so we can get it chilling. Now, just to remind you that if you want a copy of any of these recipes, if you don't have internet, give the girls at Valley a call. They'll be happy to help you with a copy. If you do have internet, go to the Valley homepage, www.valleytel.net, and you'll see the Country Cooking Cow on the right hand side. Give that cow a click and you'll find all the recipes there. We're going to take just a minute to clean this up, and we'll get started on the pasta, and that goes very quickly, so we're just about ready.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Cake is ready. Pull that out. And we're going to get the French bread in. I'm going to raise the temperature to 375. I have my water boiling, so this calls for 9 ounces of fettuccine. This is a 16-ounce box. We're going to use a little more than half. I'm going to salt the water. And then I have a tablespoon of butter that I have melted in this pan, and I'm going to squeeze a very large garlic clove in there. It calls for a teaspoon, and so a large one is about that size. And we're going to saute that just for about a minute till it gets real aromatic and you can smell the garlic. Okay. As soon as this cooks for about a minute, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley. And we have 2 tablespoons of either white wine or dry vermouth. I'm using a Chardonnay. And then I'm going to stir in a pound of shrimp that is peeled and deveined, and I also remove the tails. I just don't like it when people have to stop and pull the tail off in their mouth when they're eating. So we want to get the shrimp cooking so it turns pink. Turn that up a little bit. This goes actually very quickly once the shrimp cooks for just a few minutes. Then we'll start the sauce. I want to remind you one last time though, if you want a copy of any of these recipes, if you don't have internet, give the girls at Valley a call. If you do have internet, go to the Valley homepage, www.valleytel.net. Click on the Country Cooking Cow. We'll be right back. Alright, we're going to transfer this to another bowl here. Okay, I'm going to throw in 3 tablespoons of butter. Get that melting. The nice thing about using garlic is that the whole kitchen smells just so delicious. Okay, to this I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of cream. A 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. teaspoon of salt. Here again, they always say to taste. We're going to start with a half and a half, and if you serve salt and pepper shakers on your table, they can always add themselves if they want to add a little bit more. Let me turn that down a little bit. A half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Now this gives it just a little bit of a zip. Down a little more. Let the sauce thicken a little bit. And I'm going to toss the shrimp back in. And to that I'm going to add an avocado that I have peeled and diced. And a Roma tomato that I have diced. And we're going to heat them through, and the dish is actually ready to eat then. You want to make sure you don't overcook your pasta. Good, we'll give it just about another minute. Okay, we're gonna drain the pasta. There's always a little more drops to drain. Okay, I'm going to blend it here before I put it in my bowl. I'm going to add the mandarin oranges. I usually don't add those right away because sometimes they tend to make your salad a little soggy. So we add them at the last minute right before we serve. Now, if you want to make it easier for yourself, you can serve just ice cream topping on this. My husband likes caramel ice cream topping on it. I actually think that for Christmas that the raspberry sauce looks beautiful, so that's what we're doing today. Cake is actually still a little bit warm, so it's running a little bit. Those darn little cranberries like fall down to the bottom. Here again, if you're not using the whole salad, you think you might have some leftovers, pass the dressing. And let people drizzle on however much that they want. And we'll we have it. Our avocado and shrimp fettuccine, our orange cranberry tossed salad, our French wheat bread, our bourbon pound cake with raspberry sauce. Thanks for joining us today on this edition of Country Cooking. We'd like to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Hope to see you next time.